why I didn't like the Evolve AI powerlifting app, and why it might be right for you. The No Fake Channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and if you are planning your own training, you are absolutely hindering your goals and your gains. It's almost impossible for us to get out of our own heads, to remove our ego and train smart. More often than not, we are overtraining, we are picking exercises that we favor, we're avoiding others, and far too often we're going after that 1 rep max and just praying that we don't hit Snap City. Now, personal trainers can be fantastic, but they are expensive, and it makes absolute sense where everyone has a supercomputer in the palm of their hands to utilize your phones in order to use an online app for your training. Evolve AI has entered the chat. This is a specific powerlifting app dedicated to help you peak for your next powerlifting meet, and it offers a ton of value. Before I get into it, I want you to know where I'm coming from. I typically do bodybuilding style workouts in my home gym, and while I love bodybuilding, I also see the importance and the need for strength training. And that's why I took on this app for 1 month in order to see if their power building program was right for me. For those of you not familiar, power building, it's exactly what it sounds like. They cross powerlifting and bodybuilding, put it together, you get power building. Yeah, buddy! We all know there's no such thing as a free lunch. So what does this thing cost? Well, they nicely give you 2 weeks free up front in order to see if it's right for you, if it's something you're going to want to stick with, if it's something that you find value in. After that, it is $15 a month. And while no one likes to pay a reoccurring monthly fee, I will say compared to their competition, juggernautai, this $15 a month is less than half of what the competition charges. Setting up the Evolve AI powerlifting app is fairly straightforward. There's what I would consider a medium amount of customization. You go in, you select either powerlifting or power building, and then you're able to select the actual days of the week you plan to train, and then you enter in your powerlifting meet or the date that you want to attempt PRs in the squat, bench, and deadlift, and then it's just off to the races. Timeout. I need to thank all of you for using my affiliate link, which is in the description of today's video. When you use those links, it not only supports the channel, but the proceeds do go into paying for future videos. Let me know when you use those links so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. My favorite thing about Evolve AI, and frankly, the reason you actually buy a fitness app, is for its ability to adjust on the fly. Before you even work out, you're able to put in your sleep, your soreness, and your energy level. It will adjust your workout for you. And then even better, during your workout, you're able to tell the program how that set felt. Did it feel light? Did it feel heavy? Did it move fast? And next thing you know, it immediately adjusts for the next set. You don't have to wait for the following workout. It just does it right on the spot. And that's great because it takes out your ego, it takes out the guesswork on your lifting, and it does the coaching, which is what you're paying for. Another great aspect about Evolve AI is that you can swap out exercises. And in a home gym, you're gonna have limited equipment, so that's perfect because sometimes you just don't have access to something that they suggest, and that gives you the flexibility to, again, keep the train moving forward. Another thing I really liked was that it threw in a food tracker essentially for free, adding in value. If you're not familiar, a food tracker is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to count your calories and your macros. You can either enter it in manually or you can just use your phone's camera in order to scan the barcode on the food. Now, it's not crazy amazing in terms of the level of detail it can get down into, but it does the job. It tracks your macros and your calories, which is what most people are looking for, especially if they're doing bodybuilding or powerlifting. I will say if you had to buy a separate app to do this, it would probably cost you $10 or even $20. As an example, MyFitnessPal is $20 a month.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
The Evolve AI app did come in under my expectations, especially in the power building program. When you first set this up, you are able to enter the percentages of powerlifting to bodybuilding. And you guys know I just maxed out that bodybuilding aspect. So I think it was 30% powerlifting, 70% bodybuilding. And at the end of the day, the volume was significantly lower than my expectations. I will tell you that as the month progressed, it got slightly better. But even then, especially on what I would call back days, it just didn't deliver any amount of volume for such a big muscle group, and I was extremely underwhelmed with it. Also, during your training, you are able to add additional sets if you're feeling good, if you're feeling froggy and you want to go a little bit harder, but you cannot actually add in any extra exercises. So what they give you for the exercises in terms of the count, that's it. So all you can do is add an extra set. You can't say, I'm feeling good, I want to do some lat pull downs and throw that in there. That option is not available to you. Another issue that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way was how you set up your training days. Now you go in initially and you tell the program which days of the week you plan to work out, and it keeps you to that schedule. You are able to adjust and say, I skip this day, I'm going to hit that day. And I recognize for most people, that's going to be ideal. You're going to have a work schedule, you're going to have a training schedule, and that allows you to kind of match up the days of the week where you're going to have time and the energy to actually do your training. For me, I don't like that. I like to have so many days on with the rest day, rinse and repeat. And in a 7-day calendar week, it doesn't always line up to be on the same day. I was able to finagle the schedule. So I would tell the program that I would skip a certain day and then hit another day. So that did work itself out. But in terms of an application, I want the ability to program that in specifically for my needs.
Pay that man his money.
Another issue that I thought was slightly conniving, and it's a means for them to keep you paying that subscription fee, is that once you cancel, you have exactly zero access to your previous workouts. So for me, I ran this for a month, not that big of a deal, right? But for many of you, you're gonna run this for 6 months, maybe even a year before you decide, hey, I'm gonna take a break, maybe try something else. You're gonna have a ton of information stored in there on your PRs, on how your splits were, the different types of programs you did and how you felt afterwards. And many of you are gonna wanna go back and look at that information to kind of get glimpses as to what you should be doing moving forward. And you can't, okay? I think it's just a way for them to unfortunately keep you beholden to that subscription fee. Just as an example, audible.com, which is a subscription-based program for audiobooks, when you cancel that program, you still have access to all of the audiobooks that you paid for, which was part of your subscription. So you can go back anytime from now to the end of time and still re-listen to all of those books that you paid for because, hey, you own them. You paid that money. And when I feel like this program should give you access to your previous records. It's time. It is time for my final thoughts on the Evolve AI powerlifting app. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the value proposition on this thing is just through the roof, but for the right people. If you're looking for power building, that cross between powerlifting and bodybuilding, this is a no-fly zone. The volume is going to be way lower than you want, and the amount of customization you're probably expecting just isn't going to be there. This thing is really a powerlifting app dedicated for those of you that have a specific meet setup or you're just living that powerlifting lifestyle.
It feels different. It feels fantastic.
And you want to have specific blocks so that you can peak and then rinse and repeat. I used the Evolve AI app for 1 month, and I'll be honest with you, as the month progressed, the workouts did improve to my satisfaction, but it still wasn't for me at the end of the day. I would say if you're going to take on this application, make sure you give yourself at least 4 weeks, if not really 8 weeks, to truly understand if this app is for you. Keep in mind, it's an AI app, so the more information you give it, workout over workout, the better the future workouts are going to be and more in line with your lifting style. If you want to see another epic app review, then check this one out. And if you made it this far, you and I are like the WNBA and empty seats. Hey, we are best friends, shake and bake. Thanks for making it all the way to the end. And as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.
Job's done.